your line should look something like this. So I have different colored lines up here. The highlighted ones, ignore those. Those are the ones that were already there. So your red line should have been a positive slope that looks something like this. Your brown line should have been a negative slope that looks something like this. And then your green line should have also been a negative slope that looks something like this. So if you didn't get a chance to finish those graphs, do that in the next minute.
Oh.
And then on the next page, you have to write the equation of your red, brown, and green line. You could have either used what we've been doing in class, the point slope, finding the slope, all those things. But you're also given the graph, so you could just write the equation from the graph. So our red line would be slope of 2/3, y-intercept at 4. I meant to also say that, so for the next set of graphs that we do, you may want to highlight your x and y axis to outline it so that you don't confuse your numbers. Your brown line has a slope of -2/5, y-intercept at -3. I'm going to make this bigger if you can't see it in a minute. And then the green line, the slope was -3/1. Y-intercept at 4 as well.
For the last page, like on the front, how did you get your brown? Like, that always, like your brown was like one.
So we had points at -5, -1. And at 5, -5.
Oh, so what's the other one?
And then I found the slope of these, and then I put this. This is the one over here. Okay, so on the bottom of that page, it asks about parallel lines. So I'm going to pull this back up. One, we need to know what is a parallel line. Does anyone know what that means?
It's like two lines that like are never attached.
Okay. So if we're saying there are two lines that don't touch, if I'm looking at line A, which line is a line that would not touch that line? Brown. So we would write brown here. And then it asks for those two equations. So you would write the equation of A, which is listed up here. And we just wrote the brown line. So write both of those in line A. For this one. and I'll make that bigger here in a moment. Then it asks about line B. If I'm looking at line E, which is this one, which one would not touch that one?
Red.
The red. So same as before, put red here and then put the two equations of line B and the red line. Okay, and then by default, the last one would be the green because that's on the left. But we can also look and see that those two lines are never going to touch. It's a little messy. But brown, write the equation of the brown line and the equation of A. Red, same thing. Green, same thing. Alright, and then on the next page, you should probably have your pages open like this so that you can look back at this page as well as answer the questions. You guys are going to talk to each other, talk to the people around you at your tables about these questions. I'll give you time to do that, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about them. So look at these equations, look at the questions, and talk to each other about those questions. What we found. What did we notice about the slopes of the pairs
So for
That was-
brown and A, for B and red, for C and green?
Did the slope stay the same?
Okay. What about the y-intercept?
Change to a if it was a negative, it changed to a positive, and if it was a positive, it changed to a negative.
Struggled.
Did that happen with every single one?
Yeah.
Okay. But that works, but that's not something that has to happen.
Oh.
Okay. Really, just they changed in general. They were different. So then the general statement, you would just combine those two. For parallel lines, the slopes have to be the same, the y-intercepts have to be different.
Go back with this. 189, 65, 32, 1,583. Well, plus. Awesome.
So then for this number one, are these two lines parallel to each other?
Yes.
How do we know that?
Because like the slope is the same.
And
The y-intercept change.
for the next one, are those parallel lines?
No.
No. How do we know that?
Because like the slope change.
The slope is different. So that alone doesn't even matter about the y-intercept at that point because the slopes aren't the same. This is not parallel. So I need 3 people to give me an equation that would be parallel to the one that's given.
Y equals 2x plus 3.
Sure. Y equals 2x plus 3.
Y equals 2x plus 10.
Sure.
Why do you think it's big?
One more.
Y equals 2x plus 1.
Now I need 3 different people to give me equations that are not parallel. Someone different. So I need someone different, or I can pick.
Y equals 3x minus 3.
Sure.
30.
These would not be parallel. The slopes are not the same. I need 2 other people, different people, to give me answers for this. Go.
Y equals 7.
Sure. One more person. Go ahead, Anna. Sure. All of these would not be parallel to this. The last thing I want you to do today is do the graphs for the next page. After you do that, you can move your calculators up.